What's going on, everyone? Welcome on into a live edition of the Cleveland Browns Report. We got a fun show laid out for everyone today. Also, a slightly unique show because we're not going to have our usual mailbag. As much as I love talking and interacting with you all, I thought for the off-season dog days in the summer, we could do a different segment, and that would be a Madden simulation for all 17 games this year. Now, obviously, we're not going to do 17 games today. We're going to go game by game, and we'll do it periodically throughout the entire summer, and we'll see how the Brownies fare after 17 games, 18 weeks in the Madden world. So we got that coming up. I'm very sorry for being tardy. Jeremy Stallman calling me out for it, $5 super chat. Jeremy saying, here I thought I was running late. I see the winds are pretty bad in Dallas. Be safe. Let's go Brownies. Jeremy, that's actually why I'm late today. I'm 10 minutes late to the live show because I was about 20 to 30 minutes late to work today because I took my dog to her doggy daycare. The doggy daycare was closed because of all of the bad storms. It knocked out their power, so I had to go home. All of my dog sitters are out of town right now, so I had to knock on my neighbor's door. She's a wonderful lady who speaks zero English, but a very nice Venezuelan lady who has her own dog, and I use Google Translate because I speak zero Spanish, took French in high school, did not help me today, and I had to ask, do you mind watching my dog for the day? And she happily obliged. We've been texting back and forth throughout today with pictures, using Google Translate to facilitate the entire conversation. So that is why I am 10 minutes late today. My bad. But Jeremy, at least you kind of knew that from the bad storms we have right now in Dallas. $2 super chat and a first-time super chatter from Ben Nussbaum. How does Michael Hall play being so undersized? Michael Hall's weight has been a little bit of a question mark because at Ohio State, you can't really trust, let's be honest, college websites to be accurate in their height and weight for players. They had Michael Hall, oh my goodness. Ben, let me answer your question. Then I'll get to Jeremy Stallman's $100 super chat. They had Michael Hall at Ohio State being what? Like 285? 275, I'm sorry. Then he shows up to the NFL Combine. He's 290 pounds. Then at his pro day a few weeks later, or a month and change, he was 299 pounds. So I don't really know exactly what weight he is. He gained 10 pounds from the Combine to the pro day, so it's tough to say, but how does he play being so undersized? He kills with speed. Go look at Aaron Donald when he came out of Pitt. Not that he's going to be the next Aaron Donald, but Aaron Donald, despite not being the biggest guy in the world coming out of Pitt, was so effective for a lot of reasons. But one of them was his incredible quickness and speed. Ben, thank you so much for the super chat. Joshua Miller with a $2 super chat. Most important game on the 2024 schedule. Good question, Josh. I will go with... I'm not going to say the Cowboys game. I know you always want to get off on a good step, but that's not as crucial as you might think. I would go with Steelers home Thursday Night Football. It's a short week. After that, you're on the road Monday Night Football in Denver. So if you were to lose the Steelers game, now you're going on the road to play in Denver where you did not fare too well last year. You got to beat the Steelers, and you got to beat them at home, especially under the primetime lights. Jeremy Stallman with a $100 super chat. Let's go, Jeremy. Let's go. Petey, great to catch up last week. Keep up the great work. Here's to all of us. Let's go, Browns. Jeremy, let's go, Jeremy Stallman. It was such a blast catching up with you, getting able to sit down with a viewer of the show and just talking Brownies, talking football, talking life. It was an absolute pleasure. Jeremy, thank you so much. And hey, if you ever find yourself in Dallas or when I go to Cleveland, August 1st, I think is the date, or July 31st. No, August 1st. And you want to get together, please. I've got an open door policy. I don't like the people that feel like they are bigger than their following really is. Celebrity. I'm a sports YouTuber that likes to talk football and talk Brownies, which means I will never find myself in a position where I'm like, I don't want to hang out with you. No, that's not me at all. So if you ever want to talk Browns, get a beer, grab a bite to eat, please. My DMs are always open. More than happy to. Levi Mayfield with a $2 super chat. Game most excited for. Let's effing go Browns. Man, week one's always just got built-in excitement. Like, regardless of the opponent, Dallas brings a little bit more spotlight to it. But after that game I am most excited for, kind of excited for, if this schedule does not change, Browns-Dolphins, Sunday Night Football. I feel like that's going to be an absolute ass-kicking up in Cleveland because the Dolphins, Miami, Cleveland, December, no. They stand no chance. 0 chance. Shout out your city for me in the comment section below. Let me know where you are tuning in. It's been the me show so far. I want to know where you're watching from. Levi with another $2 super chat. I got Sam Collins in the chat. Time Man the Buckeye watching from Ohio. Greg Newsome is here. That's pretty sick. Speaking of Greg Newsome, his position mate, Martin Emerson, for no good reason at all, go check out my Twitter, caught the dumbest stray from Bleacher Report. They came out with an article, one move all 32 teams should make, and for the Browns, they suggested signing Stephon Gilmore or Steven Nelson, and they said, it's not like Martin Emerson is that bad or anything, but, like, so you just didn't watch a single Browns game last year. And listen, I didn't watch all 17 Seahawks games, but before I put out a strong opinion on the team, don't do 2 minutes of research. Do like 20 minutes of research. And you'll probably have a good idea as to what they actually need. You did 2 minutes of research. Levi Mayfield, let's go. You're coming to the land. We're getting a beer. Say less. Say less. I'm really excited for this trip and getting to meet a handful of you all who are in the Cleveland greater area. So be on the lookout. We'll be posting more details about it. But August 1st, yes, because it's that Thursday, is the date we're targeting. So clear your schedules, cancel all your meetings, quit your job. Don't go to school. I don't give a shit. Come hang out with the Browns Report Get Together Thursday, August 1st. Levi, appreciate you. Ben with another $2 super chat. How does Nick Chubb recover at his age? By being one of the greatest athletes in the game. I mean, Nick Chubb, from a physical standpoint, is just so fast and strong despite being in a league where everyone is fast and strong. In order to separate yourself amongst the best athletes in the world, you've got to be a superstar type of athlete, a superhero. And that's what Batman is. So how does he recover from a major knee injury when he's almost 30 years old, 28? By being Batman, right? Had this happened to a Melvin Gordon, sorry, Melvin, I know you just caught a stray, who, by the way, he got hurt last year with the Ravens, I think, or 2 years ago, then you probably just kind of drift off into the abyss. Nick Chubb, different animal. $2 super chat from Joshua Miller. There's a reason I got an MJ Emerson jersey. Josh, being the proud owner of a Martin Emerson jersey and a Cade York jersey, you should never have to buy a beer at any Browns backers bar on a Sunday if you're wearing a Martin Emerson jersey. That is the definition of that guy's not a casual. That guy watches Browns football religiously. Jeremy Stallman, let's go. How many interceptions did Deshaun Watson have this season? Last year in 2023, Deshaun Watson threw, I think, 5 interceptions. Was it 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions? I think he had 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. How many will he throw in 2024, if you're asking that question, Jeremy? It's okay. I'm sorry, Deshaun. 4 interceptions. I would predict that in 2024, if he plays all 17 games, he throws 11 picks. That sound reasonable to everyone? With 11 interceptions. Sam Collins with a $1 super chat. Appreciate you, Sam. There was a kid who went to my fraternity named Sam Collins. Pretty sure his name was Sam Collins. Sam Collins.
If this is Sam Collins, that'd be crazy.
He was a spring pledge. So.
Springs.
Yeah.
You know about them springs.
If you know spring pledges, you know what I mean. Jeremy, welcome, Sam. Jeremy is like the ultimate. Jeremy is like the world's nicest bouncer. where he's actually not ID checking. He's part hostess. He's part bartender. He is the glue. Like, DJ, he's like the Eagles' Dom, the security guy. Like, you just need a Jeremy Stallman in your life. We have one, thankfully. All right, we're going to catch up on the next Super Chat in just a second, but who you got? Browns or Cowboys for week 1? Like I said, we're going to run a Madden simulation at the end of the show, so make sure you stick around for that. But let me know right now in the comment section below who you got. Spam CLE, drown out the Cowgirls fans that are tuning in, and let me know who you got. As you're typing that, we will read Joshua Miller's Super Chat. If Nick Chubb has 2 to 3 years of elite level production, is he a Hall of Famer? If Nick Chubb bounces back from this and puts together 2 more years of 1,200 yards and 7 to 10 touchdowns, I don't know if he is a Hall of Fame. I guess so. Like, the thing with the Hall of Fame is it's tough in this day and age to compare his stats to previous running backs or whatever position you're looking for stats, because the offense has changed so much that, like, if you look at guys who got in the 70s that played wide out and go, well, he only got in with 8,000 yards, then every wide receiver is going to get into the Hall of Fame this day and age. But I think Nick Chubb, if he has another 2 or 3 years, and as unfortunate or unfair as it may be to Chubb, it's probably dependent on how the Browns do in those 2 to 3 years. Like, if they go into the playoffs, they're winning playoff games, and Nick Chubb is running into the end zone with 30 seconds left to win and beat the Chiefs, then yeah, Chubb probably gets in the Hall of Fame. If he puts together really good stats for a Browns team that doesn't win a lot of games, then he may be someone that takes a couple of years to get into the Hall of Fame, if ever. So I feel like it could go either way at this point. It's a really good question, Josh. I wish I had a better answer for you, but it really just depends on how those 2 to 3 years look for the Browns and Nick Chubb. All right, if you want to get on screen like the last 15 or so minutes of the show has been, Super Chat, and we'll toss it on for all of our great viewers to see. So if you've got a question like Josh, a take, or an idea you want to share, Super Chat your way on screen. If you're unable to Super Chat, not a problem at all. You're more than welcome to go into the chat, put hashtag Browns somewhere in your message, and producer Trace can eventually pull those and put them on screen if we want to. Okay. That being said, let's jump into our schedule for today. So coming up, I thought we'd have a fun new segment to kick off the show. There's no real new news or rumors pressing, so I wanted to do AFC North superlatives, then OTAs winners and losers, and then that Madden simulation of Browns versus Cowboys. Jeremy Stallman with a $2 Super Chat. F the Cowgirls, Browns 38-24. So I will let you know, and I'll remind everyone later, that Trace did the Madden simulation. I have no idea what happens in the game. Trace knows what happens in the game because he was the one that actually hit play on the Madden sim and then ended it when the game was over. But for me, I'll be watching it the first time like all of you. So I'm very excited for that. All right, are we ready to jump into our first segment on today's show? Yeah, sure thing. All right, here we go. Let's talk Cleveland Browns football. Before we jump into today's show, the month of May is almost over, and we've got some work to do to catch up and pass the Ravens rundown in subscribers. So if you're not subscribed to the channel yet and you hate the Baltimore Ravens, help us defeat the Ravens rundown. What's going on, everyone? Welcome on into the Cleveland Browns Report by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson here, handing out some AFC North predictions and superlatives. I thought as we kind of enter the, slow days of the offseason with OTAs practices going in frequently, we could take some time to run through some superlatives for the AFC North. So, with that being said, I would like to start things off by handing our first superlative to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who win the award for most likely to bench their starting quarterback. I think if you look at all 4 of these teams here, and even if it's not just AFC North focused, the Steelers are definitely a candidate to bench Russell Wilson in favor of Justin Fields. There is some level of interest from Pittsburgh for Justin Fields. Otherwise, they wouldn't just trade for him. So clearly there is something that has caught the coach's eye. And as for Russell Wilson, his 2-year stint in Denver, it was not good. Like, let's just address that head on. It was filled with losses, which that's not completely on Russell Wilson. There are 21 other starters on the field. But ultimately, even the stats, last year's maybe a little bit misleading. You see 26 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. You think, that looks like a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback to me. But to me, it's the yards, his inability to push the ball down the field. And I know in Pittsburgh, they don't ask their quarterbacks to do that, and they've kind of gotten by not doing that. But at the same time, have they? Like, this is the biggest reasoning that Steelers have for how Russell Wilson's a perfect fit in Pittsburgh. Our defense is so good, we just need an average quarterback, and we can be a really strong team. And there's some truth to that, but also I feel like they are just trying to make the best of the mediocre situation that they have themselves in. Like, look at the last 4 week 1 starting quarterbacks for Pittsburgh, especially this run right here of the end of Big Ben and then Mitch and Kenny Pickett. Sure, if you had an average quarterback play here, maybe you have a better end of the season result, but does anyone else feel like the Steelers are walking on thin ice of every year just praying their defense shows up, and as long as the quarterback is just mediocre with Mike Tomlin, they'll find a way to eke out 9-10 wins? Is that the goal? I know you can't find a superstar quarterback every single offseason, but to me, this situation here kind of reminds me of the Indianapolis Colts. And remember how they floated by, going different QB year to year, and then finally it all caught up to them when they got Matt Ryan, who I think his final year in Atlanta was not very far off from Russell Wilson's 2023 season in Denver. And at a certain point, putting in a new starting quarterback, asking the wide receivers, the running backs, the offensive line to get accustomed to a new QB, and banking on the defense to show up every single week, it's just too difficult to sustain. So maybe this would have worked a few years ago in Pittsburgh, but I think this is the year where ultimately it starts to crumble and Rome starts to fall. And that's where you could see Pittsburgh decide, let's bench Russell Wilson. We only signed him to a 1-year contract because it was such a cheap deal. And let's see if Justin Fields could provide a spark and maybe actually be a long-term plan for us. So I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, not just in a high school sense of a superlative, I genuinely do believe they are going to bench Russell Wilson and turn to Justin Fields at some point in 2024. All right, Ravens are up next here with the award being most likely to not have a 1,000-yard wide receiver. Now, when I handed out this superlative to them, I forgot that Marquise Brown had sneakily had a 1,000-plus yard year back in 2021. But this is a franchise that has been plagued at the wide receiver position. No team has invested more in draft capital at wide receivers than the Baltimore Ravens the last decade. And they have not seen it pay off very well for them. Now, they do have some really young, good talent. Like, I'm a big fan of Zay Flowers. Was a huge fan of him fumbling in the AFC championship game. But I do think Zay Flowers has a really high ceiling. And Rashad Bateman, to me, I don't understand what the Ravens think they have in him to warrant a 1-year contract extension. And then Nelson Aguilar is cheeks. So to me, it comes down to one man only, Zay Flowers. Can he get 1,000 yards? And I know after an 858-yard rookie season, he may feel destined to do so. But let me be your annual reminder of not all rookies that have strong years follow it up with better sophomore campaigns. There is a long list of examples of guys that look poised to have a huge breakout sophomore year, and then it doesn't happen. And to me, I feel like that could be something that happens to Zay Flowers in an offense that's not designed to pass the ball enough where a receiver could get 1,000 yards just by showing up. It's not like the Ravens are going to be top 5, top 10 in pass attempts this upcoming season. So I don't think they have a 1,000-yard guy on their team. Bengals, similar-ish. They get the most likely to piss off their wide receivers because they've already done that. Credit to Cincinnati for having no money and not liking paying their players, although there is some falseness to that statement because they have actually dished out a lot of cash the last few seasons, but a good chunk of that goes to Joe Burrow. But Bengals OTAs opened up on Tuesday as we filmed this live show, and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are not in attendance. And that's not ideal, right? Does that mean that the Bengals are going to get off to a bad start this year? No, Joe Burrow does not need to develop a connection with any one of these players. He's had plenty of time to do that. But this does give you a rough idea as to the level of seriousness these two players have in their contract disputes. Let's start with Jamar Chase. He is looking to become the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. There's no doubt in my mind that is the number he is seeking. A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, they both got recent contract extensions, and Jamar Chase has been a top 5 receiver in football the last 3 years since entering the league, and he wants to be paid more than just top 5. He wants to be number 1. I think he probably wants to get $32.1 million. Can the Bengals swing that? I mean, this is a franchise that doesn't have a business, right? It's not like the Haslams with Flying J and a whole lot more gas stations, right? This is a family-run business that their income is the Cincinnati Bengals, which means when you sign a massive contract to a player or give a massive contract to a player with a lot of guaranteed money in it, you have to have a certain amount of that guaranteed money, I think it's 75%, set aside within the first year. And there's a realistic chance the Bengals are penny pinching. I mean, they did add a licensing agreement to brand their stadium, to Paycor Stadium, to try and scrape together enough pennies and dollars to get enough guaranteed money for Jamar Chase after giving so much to Joe Burrow. So I think the Bengals ultimately will extend Jamar Chase. It's just not going to happen anytime soon-ish. Like, to me, I just think they literally need time to make money to then pay Jamar Chase. I think that's where the Bengals are at. As for T. Higgins, this could get murky. T. Higgins knows he's not going to become a top 5 highest paid receiver in football. My guess is he kind of wants to get near or probably above what Michael Pittman got from the Indianapolis Colts. Now, we can go back to last month where T. Higgins did an interview with the local Fox station, and he said, "We'll see when it came to playing this year. I do anticipate playing for the Bengals in 2024. I've grown a love for Cincy that I didn't think I would. Looking forward to it." So there is clearly some level of motivation from T. Higgins to try and repair this relationship, although he requested a trade not too long ago. But I think that's just your usual, hey, negotiating tactic to get a better deal done. But ultimately, I do not see a way the Bengals pay both of these wide receivers. And I would think if the Bengals were wise, they would try to get something out of T. Higgins before he walks in NFL free agency. So for that reason, I think you could see a possible in-season trade for T. Higgins. I don't think the Bengals move on from him before the season opens up. They're going to want to keep the band together and try to put together a good Super Bowl run. And listen, they're very capable of that, right? They were in the Super Bowl not too long ago, and it's not like their roster has had dramatic change since then. They still have a lot of their core players. But if things aren't going super well at the beginning of the year and a team dangles a first or a second round pick in front of them for T. Higgins, they may take them up on that. Now, before we get to the next two superlatives, or the last one I should say for the Browns, if you want to get this awesome Cleveland Browns polo with Brownie the Elf on it, go to chatsports.com/CLE polo. I put that link in the comments and description of today's video. You guys know I love wearing my polos on the show. So if you want to get a Browns polo like me, chatsports.com/CLE polo. As for the Browns, they're superlative. Most likely to have a comeback player of the year award winner. The more I talk about Nick Chubb, the more excited I get for what his return could be. Like, go back to January, and of course, the further we've gotten away from the surgery date, the more information we've had, and then we can make a better opinion and assessment for Nick Chubb this year. But you go back to January, and I was very timid about will Chubb look like this upcoming season, given the severity of the knee injury and the age and the contract situation? But the contract situation is not a problem anymore. They resolved that. The age is not changing, but the knee injury, we've seen good progress in rehab from the leakage that we've gotten out of the Browns over the last few months. And I think Nick Chubb could definitely be a candidate and a strong one to an NFL Comeback Player of the Year. I'll remind you of the timeline for when he got injured, September 18th in Pittsburgh against the Steelers, to his first and second surgery, September 29th, and then November 14th. Then he comes out to the home game against Pittsburgh, where the Browns won 13-10. DTR at quarterback. He is spotted on crutches coming out 5 days after getting surgery. Then he's at the Rams game in LA, and Andrew Berry shared a story about how Nick Chubb was walking around the suite without crutches. And then sometime around April 13th, Andrew Berry revealed that Nick Chubb began running on land. So him running by April 13th, with the season opening up early in September, even if Chubb were to miss 1 or 2 games, I mean, look at last year's NFL Comeback Player of the Year winner. Joe Flacco did not have to play the whole year to win the award. So I think Chubb could very well miss the first few weeks of the season and still be in contention. Now, when you look at the previous NFL Comeback Player of the Year winners, there's definitely a trend. 6 straight quarterbacks have won the award. But of those 6 straight quarterbacks, Burrow, Alex Smith, Andrew Luck, they all won it coming off a major injury, just like Nick Chubb. And then you go back before that, Keenan Allen in 2016, he only played 1 game for the Chargers. Wins it the next year. Jordy Nelson missed the entire 2015 season. That's when America learned you do not do fantasy football drafts in early August because he tore his ACL in preseason. Eric Berry, of course, had so many unfortunate issues and injuries off the field and battled cancer and got back on the field. But he won it in 2015 after missing time in 2014. Gronk in 2014 won it after missing a good chunk of the 2013 season. So you can see that there is a trend of suffer a major injury, be a superstar caliber player, bounce back well the next year. You're a shoo-in for the award. And of course, the Browns cleaned up at the NFL award ceremony this past season. Myles Garrett won Defensive Player of the Year. Flacco won Comeback Player of the Year. Stefanski won Coach of the Year. Jim Schwartz won Assistant Coach of the Year. So who is Nick Chubb competing with for this Comeback Player of the Year? If you just look at it through the lens of notable guys coming off major injuries, there are some big names out there. One is his own teammate, Deshaun Watson. If Watson puts together a top 3 quarterback season, he'll probably be the first one to get it because quarterbacks always have the edge over every other position. Then there's Aaron Rodgers, who is probably the most likely to just because of the name notoriety and how early he got injured into his Jets career, just 4 snaps in. Burrow I tossed on there. Same for Anthony Richardson, although I don't think a guy who got injured his rookie year should be able to win it because come back means we knew what you were before. Daniel Jones, I'd be shocked if he won it. Kirk Cousins with the Falcons, he's definitely a candidate. Same for Justin Herbert, although he got hurt so late last year. I feel like the injury element shouldn't be a comeback-worthy story because he played so much of 2023. Nick Chubb, Mike Williams, and Trevon Diggs are other guys to keep an eye on. So let me know, will Nick Chubb win Comeback Player of the Year? Give me a yes or give me a no down in the comments section. I think he will. Do I have my Browns blinders on right now? Absolutely. I can't see a damn thing. But I do think Nick Chubb is a good enough athlete, and that's downplaying it dramatically, to have a really remarkable comeback story. And if he looks like anything close to what Nick Chubb we all know and love looked like for 2018, from 2018 to 2023, then I think he's going to be a really good candidate to win the award. All right, we're going to bring on producer Trizzy Trace here to pick a card in just a moment, but at the end of the video, love to pick a card, get you guys involved and on screen. So if you've never gotten this far in the video before, get in the comment section right now. Just drop a random card or a club. I don't care. And we'll see if you get it right.
I'm going 7 of diamonds.
7 of diamonds. I'm going to go with 2 of spades. King of hearts. King of hearts. All right. That will do it for us on today's show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to sign off, and we're going to see you all later with more Browns news and rumors videos.
Yeah, the mic. Hold on, Pete. We're having technical difficulties.
Am I out?
There you go. You're back.
Something's going on in the studio. It's really ticking me off. Did I go out for a moment? Oh.
At the end of, after the video was done.
Okay.
So you're good.
All right. Will Nick Chubb win Comeback Player of the Year? Give me a yes, give me a no. I've got Josh in the chat. We've got James Harper. I've got Kathy Sedeckley. Scott Zappa is here. Stays on for a half hour or more. I don't know what that means. Josh, Cool Guy, Odin, Greg Newsom is a lock. Troy. We got Jeremy Stallman. Nick Y, or Nick saying yes. Nick, appreciate you watching, dude. All right, let's get into our second segment because I want to get to... I'm so excited for this. If you are just tuning in, our final segment for today's live show will be a Browns versus Cowboys. Okay, do that real quick and move that over because I did not. Browns versus Cowboys Madden Sim. So Trace sim the game on Madden, just computer versus computer. Recorded the whole thing. I have not seen a minute of it. Not a single snap. And then we're going to watch it in real time and have a watch party like we do in the fall to get us through the dog days of the offseason. So I hope you enjoy. I'm very excited for it. But next up on the show, we're going to run through some OTAs, winners and losers, as organized team activities. Well, for one, they're kind of under fire right now. They could be abolished as soon as next year. Not really sure who is pushing this. From the player standpoint, pros and cons to it. You get a nice, very long off-season break, but training camp starts a lot earlier. Like, could start, did I hear like mid-June, potentially? Mid-July? What did Tom Pelissero say? So, I'm not quite sure showing up to training camp as early as June. That would be a very long training camp. And I'm not sure how coaches would feel about not having OTAs. Yeah, with players reporting in mid-June to early July. I'll tell you what, if they're starting training camp in early July, Trace, I think they're probably going to add another season and move it up. Week 1 is Sunday of Labor. Because
I wouldn't hate that.
do we need training camp for all of July? We need a 2-month training camp? No.
Well, and on top of that, do we need the multiple sessions of practice, a week in between, and then like 2-3 weeks in between the next mandatory minicamp? Like, feels like it's a lot of off time.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Got some pros and cons to it. All right. Let's jump into some OTAs, winners and losers. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to steal that joke and pass it off as my own. All right, here we go. Coming up on today's episode, we're going to run through some winners and losers after the first week and heading into the second week of Browns OTAs. And spoiler, real loser is OTAs because they may be gone as soon as next year. Tom Pelissero reported today that teams or the NFL, the NFLPA, are exploring the idea of abolishing OTAs for 2025, moving training camp up to mid-June, early July. Shelby Harris was not a fan of it. I'm not really sure who is a fan of it. Coaches would definitely hate it. They want to get with the players in the offseason, not have them just go off on summer break from the end of the regular season or the playoffs all the way until mid-June. They want to work with the rookies and whatnot and some of their newly acquired players. Players, sure, it may be fun getting a long stretch off with no slight breaks or intermissions in it, breaking it up, but training camp in June, that's a hell of a long time. To me, that reads they're adding another week to the regular season, and they're going to move up the regular season, which means they want to move up training camp, and then you'd have it maybe early July at start. June seems impossible. All right, let's get into some winners and losers, though, from OTAs. Our first winner is quarterback Deshaun Watson. So there's been some very good reporting coming out regarding Watson's progress in his rehab from his shoulder injury. He threw on the first day of OTAs on May 21st. Stefanski also said that Watson will be throwing every other day at OTAs. And then Stefanski changed the media availability for this second week of organized team activities from it being on Wednesday to Thursday because he wanted to get the Browns reporters there on Thursday when Watson would be throwing. This overall rehab, in my opinion, should get a little bit more attention. I do think that in our brains, we just associate the offseason with everyone's bodies get back to 100% like it's a video game character, as if the shoulder knows, hey, it's the offseason. That means we get to be healthy again. No, the body progresses and heals the same rate in the offseason as in season. So I think this overall story is not getting just enough attention and overall eyeballs on how rapid Watson's rehab and recovery has been. I mean, you go back to the beginning of his injury, which I would say was the Titans game. Different injury, but same neck of the woods, that right rotator cuff. Then in the Ravens game, or maybe before the Ravens game, but we'll stick with the Ravens game, the last time we saw Watson play, he broke his right glenoid, and that knocked him out for the rest of the year. He gets surgery in L.A. November 21st. He shows up to the Jets game on Thursday night out of a sling. So quickly we're seeing good progress on his rehab from surgery at the end of November to out of a sling at the very latest, December 28th. Then we get some leakage about his off-season workouts. March 21st begins throwing. He's with his private quarterback coach, the Browns medical supervisor, his own surgeon, and David Njoku. April 4th, he's opening up his new Philly cheesesteak sandwich place in Cleveland. Tells reporters he will be ready for week 1. April 13th, we get a report from Andrew Berry that Watson was throwing up to 40 yards at the team facility. May 21st, he's already throwing at the first day of OTAs. So in my eyes, June 11th through 13th, which is the mandatory minicamp period, should be pretty telling. Like, I don't think they're going to push Watson at all, but from throwing May 21st to June 11th, if you are going every other day in early May and you go all 3 days at minicamp, we're definitely seeing a good rate of progress on his rehab. Now, I think the Browns switching the media availability from Wednesday to Thursday when Watson is scheduled to throw Tuesday and Thursday, with Wednesday being a rest day, is super telling. If the Browns weren't confident that Watson would look good in front of the camera, then they wouldn't have him throw in front of the camera, right? They would not have the media there when Watson is throwing. I think the Browns want the NFL and they want the world to see, hey, Watson, he's already at 100% or close to it, and it is only May. Fast forward to September, and he's ready to go. First loser I've got from OTAs. Jim Schwartz's blood pressure. I feel really bad for his cardiologist because Jim Schwartz came into training camp, came into OTAs with an agenda, and that is to figure out the red zone defense. First week of OTAs, second day, and Jim Schwartz has the defense focused on their red zone defense. This is how you know that you've got an older defensive coordinator who doesn't give a shit about getting a head coaching gig. He is just so focused on his job here that when other coaches are doing basic install for new players, and the Browns have new pieces on defense, 2 new linebackers, handful of draft picks, some free agent additions, and what is Jim Schwartz doing? He is picking up where the Browns' 2023 defense failed and left off, which is in the red zone. He is going past all the introductory stuff. He said, F it to syllabus week. We're getting right into the thick of things here with red zone defense. We got some fun updates about this. Martin Emerson spoke to the media on the first week of OTAs and what the Browns were focusing on. Here's what Emerson said about the red zone specifically. So coming into this year, that's a big goal for us. If we can make guys settle for 3 points instead of getting 7, we save 4 points for the offense. And 4 points in this league, that's a big difference. That's my goal for this defense and one of our goals for this defense. So let's give some context to the Browns' red zone defense last year for a moment. They allowed touchdowns 71% of the time when the opposing offense entered the red zone. That was dead last in the NFL. But I didn't feel like that number alone did it justice when describing the Browns' red zone defense. And I'm not trying to give them a pass or wipe it all away because it was not good. But I don't think it tells the whole story. So I went touchdown by touchdown last year. And there were 25 touchdowns weeks 1 through 17. I tossed out week 18 against the Bengals because all the backups played anyway. So of the 25 red zone touchdowns the Browns gave up the first 17 games, they allowed, of the 25 touchdowns allowed in the red zone, 9 of those came when the opposing offense started on Cleveland's half of the field. 36% of the time, the Browns defense, when they gave up a red zone touchdown, well, they walked onto the field and started on their own 50 or worse. So to me, I think that's also a big reason as to why the Browns' red zone defense was not super good last year. For starters, it wasn't a ginormous sample size compared to a lot of other teams. They didn't find themselves in the red zone very often. And 9 out of 25 times, it was because their offense put them in a really bad position. Like that Ravens game in week 3, week 4, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, unfortunately, throws a interception on the first or second offensive possession, and it's an easy touchdown in the very first play for the Ravens, who got the ball in the Browns' red zone. So there are definitely a lot of improvements that need to be made in Cleveland's red zone defense, but I also think it's worth adding that the improvements also need to be made from the Browns' offense to not turn the ball over deep on their half of the field and really back up their defense and put them in a tough spot to be successful. Now, speaking of the Browns' defense, just a random kind of off-the-wall question. Who do you think is more underrated, JOK or Martin Emerson? I was reading a Bleacher Report article that had one player every team should sign right now. And for the Browns, they said Stephon Gilmore or Steven Nelson because they thought Martin Emerson was not bad, but you could do better. And I completely ripped him to shreds on Twitter. So I'm going to go with Martin Emerson is more underrated. Guy did not give up more than 66 yards in coverage in a single game last year. Also gave up 0 touchdowns. Second winner, rookie defensive tackle Michael Hall Jr. As a rookie, your job at OTAs is not to screw up. It's like you and me, if you start off at a new company, your first week, name of the game is, don't make a mistake that gives you a nickname, Ryan in the office who started the fire. Like, you just don't want to be that guy. But for Michael Hall, he is getting noticed by the team, but for good reasons. Zadarius Smith commented on this saying, I like him, man. Younger cat, man coming in, got manners. And he's wanting to learn for real. He's the first one in the meeting rooms before we get in there. So that's a big thing. But I also told him today that we didn't have any snacks. So for sure, he got to make sure that happens tomorrow for us. But I'm excited for Michael Hall's potential. When the pick was made, it wasn't maybe my favorite pick the Browns have made under Andrew Berry. And I had some criticism and a good amount of skepticism behind the pick. But don't get me wrong. The potential is very real for Michael Hall because physically, he's one of the most gifted defensive tackles we've seen in the draft. And I don't mean that in a over-exaggerating sense. I mean, look at his measurements compared to some other very notable defensive tackles. Michael Hall at his pro day came in at 299 pounds and ran a 4.75 40-yard dash. Now, sometimes colleges will embellish a little bit. They might make it a 39-yard dash instead of a 40-yard dash, and maybe they add a pound or two. But still, even if those numbers are in the right neighborhood. 299 pounds, guy ran a 4.75. J.J. Watt ran a 4.81 at 290 pounds. Geno Atkins ran a 4.75 as well at 293. So I don't need Michael Hall to be as good as Donald, Watt, or Atkins to be successful. But if he's just 80% of those guys, the Browns are going to have a Pro Bowl level starting defensive tackle, hopefully for the next 8 to 9 years. A guy who gets a second, 4, maybe 5-year contract even. And the Browns have penetration from the edge by Myles Garrett and up the middle by Michael Hall. Now, other news I want to add on Za'Darius Smith, since we touched on him for a moment. When he spoke to the media, he also mentioned that 2 other teams tried to get him to come in free agency. Miami Dolphins and I think it was the Washington Commanders were pursuing Za'Darius Smith. So happy to see him come back to Cleveland. He could have gone elsewhere, could have gone down, lived in sunny Miami, got a nice house on the water, go to D.C., although I don't know who wants to go there. But still, he picked Cleveland because he felt like there was something special brewing in Cleveland. Last year, I don't feel like the box score stats do it justice when describing Za'Darius Smith. Pro Football Focus ranked him 16th out of 112. Credited him with 60 pressures as well. So I think there's a big year coming up for Za'Darius Smith. My baseball analogy is Za'Darius Smith last year, like baseball players over 162 game sample size, sometimes they get unlucky with a lot of hard hit balls going right to a third baseman or an outfielder. In football, when you only get 17 games and you get a little bit unlucky, it's a much bigger portion of the season, percentage-wise. All right, before we get on to the rest of my winners and losers, week 2 of organized team activities is underway right now, so make sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you can get the best up-to-date information as the Browns hold their OTAs. Second loser, and it kind of piggybacks off of Mike Hall, Siaki Ika. I kind of feel a little bad because I feel like I have been piling on the guy lately, and it's not like he's a bad human being or anything like that, but I'm just trying to do an objective job of reporting what I hear and see. And to me, if Mike Hall is doing really well, unfortunately in the NFL, if someone at your position group is killing it, then someone is losing as a result of it. And to me, I think it's last year's 3rd-round pick out of Baylor. Because when you look at the Browns' defensive line, it is one of their most crowded rooms. I mean, this goes from a room that had very little depth 2 years ago under Joe Woods to Tomlinson, Shelby Harris, Quentin Jefferson, Maurice Hurst. Those 4 guys alone, you can argue, can start for this team. And they've got 4 just at the top. Haven't even gotten to a Michael Hall or a Siaki Ika. So when I look at the top 6 tackles, when I look at the top 6 defensive tackles for the Browns, I mean, Tomlinson and Harris are locks to make this roster. I think just based on their contract alone. Same goes for Jefferson. I think Maurice Hurst, his contract does give the Browns some wiggle room. So if he were to have a really bad training camp, they could move on from him without having a major dead cap hit. Whereas that'd be much more difficult with Shelby Harris or Quentin Jefferson. So Michael Hall is also a lock. You're not cutting your 2nd-round pick. So right there, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 locks. The Browns usually only take 4 defensive tackles, which means it'll come down to Hurst and Ika just to create and invent a 5th defensive tackle. And last year, Maurice Hurst was 10 times better than Siaki Ika. So that's why I feel like Ika right now, with Michael Hall looking so good, it just feels like that's one more challenge he has to overcome. All right, before we get on to my other winner and loser, who is a surprise cut candidate in your eyes? I'd be surprised if Andrew Berry really pulled the plug on a 3rd-round pick after just 1 season. He gave Anthony Schwartz longer than that, but I'm just trying to figure out where is Ika going to fit in this roster and in this defensive line room right now, unless they want to go with 6 defensive tackles, which maybe they will. But to me, that seems like you're biting off more than you can chew when trying to allocate roster space to other position groups. All right, final winner I've got from OTAs, I'll go with draft mate from Siaki Ika, Cedric Tillman, the now 2nd-year wide receiver out of Tennessee. So Cedric Tillman, in my eyes, is a winner because at the first week of OTAs, Amari Cooper was not present and Elijah Moore was not present. Now, people got really upset about Elijah Moore not being there, and honestly, I kind of respect it because last year people got so mad at Myles Garrett for not being at OTAs. He went on to have the best year, arguably, of his NFL career, won the Defensive Player of the Year. So maybe that's just the new thing, Browns fans, we got to do. Just rag a guy that's not at OTAs and he has a career year. But I've got Cedric Tillman down as a winner because if these two guys aren't at the drills, I mean, look at the wide receiver room right now. That means Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman, David Bell, Michael Woods. Like, those are your top 4 wide receivers. And Cedric Tillman has more reps, more opportunities to impress this coaching staff. So if 2 guys in his room are not in attendance, well, those reps are still to be had. All of a sudden, everyone gets a slightly bigger slice of the pie. And to me, that benefits guys like Cedric Tillman. So to me, I think Cedric Tillman has to capitalize on these OTAs. If Amari Cooper is not going to be present, and Elijah Moore, who showed up for Tuesday's OTA session for week number 2, if he's going to be a little bit in and out throughout organized team activities, Tillman's getting more reps and more eyeballs are on him and more film is being watched by the coaching staff at number 19, he has to put good tape up on himself. So I think Tillman has to have a really strong OTA session. All right, that will do it for us on this edition of the Cleveland Browns Report. Let's bring on Trizzy Trace to pick a card as we end all shows. Trace, which card would you like to go with?
I'm liking the 7 of spades today.
7 of spades. Give me a 8 of clubs.
Let's see it.
4 of diamonds. 4 of diamonds. All right. That's going to do it for us on today's show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all later. All right. Greg, Madden starts now. Who you got? Browns, Cowboys. Also, this is the only time we get to put the game on screen. Otherwise, if we did that in the fall, Fox and CBS would shut down our channel so fast. But with Madden, we can do that. Yeah. All right, so who you got? Browns, Cowboys, let me know. Let's throw on the Super Chat menu really quick, Trace, just to remind everyone what we have to work with for today's show. So if you want to support the show, we got a whole bunch of Super Chats that began the show, but I do want to put them on screen to remind everyone. Cool guy, did you say 5 of diamonds? Okay, that's not going to cut it. Looking for 4 of diamonds. All right. Trace to get everything organized for our Madden show here. I'm really excited. Levi's in the house. We got Black. Get in the chat right now. Let me know if you're watching IDG, Browns every single day. 36 likes. If you have not liked the video yet, please remember to go ahead and do so. See Kathy Seed Lecky. I feel like the audio, why is it going in and out? It's driving me insane. All right. Let's get the Super Chat menu up on screen. It doesn't, yeah. Do you guys see the Super Chat menu? Okay. Just because in program I see this. I'm seeing that. Okay. Okay. I see. Oh, okay. Oh, I see now. I see a man. All right. First time Super Chatters we sing Here We Go Brownies. $5 Super Chat. Give us your hot take. $10. I'm writing, not playoff letters. That's left over from the end of the year. I go fix that. That's my fault. Hand up. That's on me one. I'm going to own that one. I fix. Okay. All right. Go. So, are we ready to jump into our Madden sim? All right. You guys enjoy seeing how the sausage is made? Okay. Are we ready? Here we go. We are live from Cleveland Browns Stadium. Browns Cowboys Week 1. Dak Prescott and Deshaun Watson. How many times in NFL history has the two quarterbacks had the same number? Week 1. That feels like that's a bit of a rarity. But the Cowboys under the Fox lights of America's Game of the Week with Tom Brady on the call. I'm excited. Here we go. Opening day is here, baby. Browns football is back. Let's go. Start spamming CLE. Can they hear? Okay. Cool guy. No audio for the Madden game. I don't think there is. This is a first for Trace and I, so there may be some turbulence, but we're gonna power through. All right, here we go. The Browns are going to kick things off to start the season, and we'll get Jim Schwartz's defense on the field first to go up against the Cowboys and Dak Prescott in this Madden simulation of NFL Week 1 for the 2024 season. As it looks like Cooper Rush is warming up a little bit. All right, we could see Rush maybe have some. Oh, no. That makes more sense. Off it goes to Dak. Who you got? Let me know. Browns, Cowboys, get in the chat as Kevin Stefanski is wearing slacks, it looks like. That's his wardrobe. All right, Josh. I know. When I turn my head, the mic cuts out. I don't know why. I might need a new cord. So I'm just going to stay facing forward the whole time. All right, here we got Browns Cowboys as Corey Bojorquez kicks this one off to start the game. The return, well, they did not update the rules for the new kickoff return rules. So good job by Madden. But Dak Prescott and the Cowboys offense steps on the field. They'll have 1st and 10 in their own territory. As we check out what Dak was able to do in 2022. Yeah, when does Madden 25 come out? Like August? Okay. But for now, it is Dak and the boys. 1st and 10. Browns defense pinning their ears back. Last year, opening series defensively. Quick 3-and-out by Burrow and the Bengals. At their own 26, Prescott takes the snap. Flushed out of the pocket, running to his left, chucking towards the sideline, and that is incomplete. Let's go. Pressure was building. Dak forced out of the pocket, and it is 2nd and 10. Last year, the first play of the game was a pressure from Zadarius Smith, forcing an incomplete pass on Joe Burrow. 2nd and 10 for Dallas at their own 27-yard line. Dak under center. Takes the snap. He hands it off, and it's a minimal game for Ezekiel Elliott, who's back with Dallas. That brings up 3rd and 8. Let's go. Start spamming those threes. 3rd down. Get in the chat. Third down. Spam those threes. Spam those threes. 3rd and 8. Dak in the gun. Takes the snap. Dak looking. Plenty of time. Dak throwing. That is caught. Wide open. Damn it. Brandon Cooks. Tackle by Greg Newsome. Pick up about 15, 20 or so yards. Dallas converts on 3rd and 8, and they have a fresh set of downs. Pass rush never got there. Everyone's standing upright. Come on. Looks like Denzel Ward actually made the tackle. Why does Jim Schwartz look like an overweight fill-in soccer coach for his daughter's 3rd grade team? At the Cleveland 48, snap to Dak, throwing over the middle. That is caught. Another big game for Brandon Cooks. Cowboys approaching the red. Back-to-back big plays to number 3, Brandon Cooks. 1st and 10, Dallas. Come on. At the Cleveland 23-yard line. They picked up about 50 yards in the last 2 plays. Snap to Prescott. Dak throwing once again, caught 3 straight completions, and this one is picked up for a gain of about 6 by that Jalen Tolbert. That was their 2nd or 3rd round pick last year from South Alabama. Let's get some S for stops. I like a Trace. mojo going. Everyone got really sad all of a sudden. Hey, haven't scored yet. That's for stop. Let's go. Prescott in the gun at the Cleveland 16. Takes the snap. Prescott throwing, and that is caught first down. Gain of 10, and Jalen Tolbert moves the sticks. And the Cowboys are in the red zone. They are first and goal. First and goal, Dallas. From the 10-yard line. Prescott in shotgun. Dak takes the snap. Looking. Throwing. End zone. Got to catch that. The Warden breaks it up, but I think he could have picked it off.
Come on, Ward. Don't let Dak make you look bad.
What is your favorite place for a takeaway defensively?
Something about a takeaway in the end zone just gets
in
me
your
going.
own end zone?
Yep, gets me going.
All right, second and goal. Empty set. Dak takes the snap. Throwing, quick strike, caught. Gain of 3. Nice tackle by Jordan Hicks, who's already a captain. Good for him. Executive Madden producer Jeremy Beadling watching all of his little minions and plants grow. Third and goal. Jeremy does hit the Cowboys, so he's pulling for the Brownies today. He's always pulling for whoever's playing Dallas. Snap to Dak. Prescott on third and goal. Flushed out. Throwing back in the end zone. Caught touchdown. Jalen Tolbert wide open. And Dallas marches down the field. They're up 6-0. Spam boo. Not a good showing from the defense. There's no one even in the right zip code. It looked like Martin Emerson could have been in coverage. I don't know if it was a man or zone defense or what. But that's an easy touchdown for Dallas, and they start the year off with an opening drive score. Man, if Troy Aikman was still at Fox right now, he would be coming all over the screen for this. But now it's up to Watson and the offense to respond. It would be like the South Park meme. Was it Randy, right? I'm excited to see Watson. Yeah. Okay. Is that... I don't know who... Is that, Nyheim Hines? Yeah, it's Nyheim Hines. Nyheim Hines is back to return the kick, and he will take a knee. So Deshaun Watson and company will have first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Watson looking to bounce back from a shortened season a year ago. Here we go. Come on. Watson and the offense have first and 10, trailing 7-0 with a little under 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Watson standing under center. Takes the snap. It's a handoff, and Nick Chubb is back on the field, but there's no gain for his first touch in the 2024 season. This would be a good time to say, we just turned injuries off. I didn't feel like it'd be fun to play the game of, I think Nick Chubb could return for week 4. No, it's Madden. It's May. Let's have some fun for it. Just like that, second and 12. That's a bad spot. It's a bad spot. Shot to Watson in the gun, throwing, and that's incomplete. Overthrew it. Had Amari Cooper in mind, and now they are faced with third and 12.
It's third down.
Empty set. Watson in shotgun. Third and 12 at their own 24-yard line. Snap to Deshaun. Pressure. And it's incomplete. Micah Parsons, who, by the way, will be public enemy number 1 for his very insensitive comments towards the city of Cleveland over the offseason. He will be facing a lot of boos come week 1. But the Browns offense fizzles out. They will punt it on 4th and 12, down 7-0. Bojorquez sends a high into the Northeast Ohio sky. Return starts at the 30, across the 35, out towards the 40, and that is where it is halted. So Dallas retakes the field with a 7-0 lead. Come on. Let's get some good vibes going defensively. If you enjoy this stuff, by the way, spam S and subscribe to the channel. If you are not subscribed yet, scroll on down, see if you are, and if you aren't, hit the sub button, change it from black to white or whatever the new color scheme is for YouTube subscriptions. 1st and 10, Dallas at their own 40. Solid starting field position. Prescott calling an audible under center. Takes the snap, drops back, looks to pass, throwing, and it is caught. Dak finding CeeDee Lamb for the first time today, a gain of 12, and they're across the 50. Madden is just giving no love to the Browns pass rush. Like, Dak's been, I wouldn't even say pressured yet, just maybe uncomfortable. I feel like that's the next PFF metric. Times you made the opposing quarterback uncomfortable. Out to the Browns' 45-yard line, 1st and 10 Dallas. It's a handoff to Zeke, and he gashes the Browns defense. Gain of 8. Second and 3. Someone needs to make a play on this defense. Someone's got to make a play. Prescott in the gun. Snap. Another handoff. There's a nice stop right there. Greg Newsome working out of the slot. Coming up with a nice tackle. And that'll bring a 3rd and 2. Spam those threes. Let's go.
It's
3rd down. Spam those threes. Prescott on 3rd and short. I formation. Takes the snap. Handoff, and it is a run that's not going to get there. Let's go.
Let's go.
Jordan Hicks was paid to do one thing. Stop the run. There it is. Browns defense comes up with a big 3rd down stop. It's 4th and 1. Oh, they made Mike McCarthy way too skinny in this game. Why is Stefanski only 10 pounds lighter than McCarthy? Cowboys are going for it. 4th and 1. Dallas goes for it. End of the quarter. Tried to get the Browns to jump off sides. So after 6 minutes of football in the Madden world, it's 7-0 bad guys. Tell everyone watching about Fanatics super quickly while Fox goes to commercial break. If you guys want to get your hands on a Browns polo, go to chatsports.com/CLE polo and get yourself a brand new piece of Browns gear. I think over the summer, if you want to stay warm or stay cool while it's so warm outside, while wearing your favorite team's gear, chatsports.com/CLE polo. Plus, if you're watching this right now and you want to treat it like I am, an actual watch party, or at least as close as I possibly can for a Madden game, Super Chat. We got a fun Super Chat menu today. First-time Super Chatters, we sing Here We Go Brownies. $5 Super Chat, give me your hot take for the upcoming season. $10 Super Chat, I'll write you a personalized letter where I kind of give you my own thoughts and opinions in more detail than what I do in a 10 to 15-minute video on the Browns and the upcoming season. And as always, thank you to all of our wonderful Super Chatters. You guys are awesome. No other way to put it. All right, let's get into our coverage of the second quarter. 4th and 1. Cowboys offense stays on the field. McCarthy is showing zero confidence in his unit. It is 4th down, and he is covering his eyes like the coach in Waterboy. Never mind. The offense has completely disappeared, and now the field goal is up, and it's good. So I'm not quite sure how they pulled off that fire drill, but all of a sudden, every single member of the offense disappeared, and the special teams kicking unit was on the field. So the Cowboys tack on 3 more to their lead. 10-0 Dallas early in the second quarter. Josh asking the tough questions here. Is Stefanski or Ken Dorsey calling plays? I think in this Madden sim, it's Kevin Stefanski. Naheem Hines back to return the kick. As Aubrey kicks it high into the sky. Return across the 15, out towards the 20, and tackle just across the 25-yard line. So it'll be routine starting field position for Watson and the offense, who went 3 and out their first series. Looking to bounce back this second time now. First and 10, Cleveland. Let's go. Jerry Jeudy. First look at him, too. Was so excited about Watson and Chubb's return. Forgot about number 3. First and 10, Cleveland at their own 26. Watson dumps it off over the middle. Nice completion. Solid gain. Browns get about 6 yards. Looked like it was David Njoku, I think, who caught that. So the Chief comes up with a nice snag. Second down and 4. Watson under center. Takes the snap. It's a handoff. And Nick Chubb is as blind as a bat. I know he likes Batman, but there was a huge hole to the left. And he decided, let me run into the white jersey. 3rd and 3. Third down. Spam those threes. Spam those threes. Watson takes the shotgun snap on 3rd down. Throws to his left. That is caught. First down. Move the chains. Let's go. Njoku with his second grab. And the Browns have their first down of the game. Ooh, a little shit talking going on. I like it. Juan Thornhill goes, I like that. Dak goes, I don't like that. First and 10. Deshaun at his own 40. Under center. Handoff to the left. Nice run this time. Stiff arm. Nick Chubb breaks loose. First down. Batman's back, baby. Stiff arms the defender to the ground. Picks up 11 yards. And the Browns are across the 50. Stefanski. All business. Calling out the next play. Not getting caught up in the emotion. Out to Dallas's 48. Watson under center again. First and 10. Takes the snap. Drop back. Watson throwing. Caught. Good gain. First down and more. Gain of 12. Jerry Jeudy with his first grab as a Cleveland Brown, I think. And it's a first down to go along with it. There we go. Denzel Ward. There we go. First and 10. Deshaun at the Dallas 35-yard line. Takes the snap. Watson looking. Watson throwing. That is caught. Gain of 8 over the middle. Finding Njoku yet again. Been a strong afternoon for the Chief. 2nd and 1. Good bounce back drive. Browns couldn't even muster up a positive yard their first series. Now they find themselves just outside of the red zone. Watson under center. On 2nd and short, it's a handoff, and it's a first down carry for Nicholas Jamal Chubb. Needed 1, got him 2, and the Browns have a fresh set of downs. First and 10, Cleveland. Delpit eyeing up this team. Well, we got something special here. Watson back in shotgun now. At the Cowboys 23. Takes the snap. QB keeper. Oh, he holds it. Watson is loose. Watson inside the 10.
Come on, Browns.
Watson on the option. Keeps it. And he brings it all the way down to the 8-yard line. Stefanski going, I called that shit. I called that shit. First and goal. From the 6. Watson under center. Play fake. Throwing. Caught! Touchdown! Touchdown, Browns! Let's go! That's what I'm talking about. That's Jordan Akins? Yes! Browns on the board. First touchdown of the year to the backup tight end. The most Browns first touchdown ever. Jordan Akins. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Let's go. Hopkins on for the PAT, trying to make it a 3-point game. It is up, and it is good. So it is a 10-7 game, just outside of the 2-minute warning. Remember, Dallas got the ball to start the game. Defense can make a stop here. Get the ball to start the second half. Could take the lead. Defense, although, has given up scores on both drives. Time for a Myles Garrett sack. Hopkins or I think Bojorquez. Bojorquez, yeah, lefty. Kicks it off. Return is going nowhere. Fair catch. So the Cowboys, who have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, they can get one play off here before the 2-minute warning. Dak barking out commands. Going got a long-ass play from Fat Mike. Everyone listen up. 1st and 10 at the Cowboys' own 25-yard line. I formation for the first time today for Dallas. It's a drop back for Prescott. He throws deep over the middle, and that is caught. Big gain. CeeDee Lamb picks up about 30 yards on 1st and 10, and Dallas is out to the 50 at the 2-minute warning. Defense is no-show today. Didn't wake up. First game of the year. I don't know how you no-show that. After the 2-minute warning, Cowboys back on the field. Quick strike over the middle. That is caught. Gain of 6 or 5 maybe. Jake Ferguson, the tight end, hauling it in. And the best part about Madden simulations is, despite Mike McCarthy having the worst clock management in the NFL, even Madden Mike has found a way to be worse. 2nd and 5. Snap to Prescott. Throws to his right. That's incomplete. Dog pound got in his head. That's you at home. Denzel Ward lurking. 3rd down.
Get loud, Browns fans.
Span those threes. Span those threes. I want a sack. 3rd and 5 at Cleveland's 45. Prescott in the gun. Takes the snap. Looking. Pressure. Rolling to his right. Throwing. That's caught. Fuck. Ferguson down to the 15. Dallas converts. Juan Thornhill. Care to join us? Look at him. I mean, he's in your vicinity. He's wide open. And you think, let me cover this patch of grass in the end zone first. 1st and goal, Dallas, or 1st down inside the red zone at the 16-yard line. Under a minute to go, all 3 timeouts remaining. Cowboys not using a single timeout yet. Snap to Prescott. Dak throwing to the end zone. Broken up. JOK going, all right, you're not going to cover Ferguson. I will. 2nd and 10. 10-7 Dallas. They scored on their first 2 drives. Browns responded with a nice touchdown to Jordan Akins. Now the defense needs to do their part. 2nd and 10. Snap to Dak in the pistol. Throws to his left. That is caught. Gain of about 6 on the play. Thornhill makes the tackle. 3rd and 4 now. 3rd and 4. And they rule that he got out of bounds. So the clock did stop. No, Dallas used a timeout, actually. So even Madden Mike knows he has timeouts. Here we go. Spam those threes. 3rd and 4. Snap to Prescott. Dak looking. Dak throwing. Caught. He didn't get there. 4th and 1. 4th and 1. Cleveland called a timeout. Let's go. Defense gave us a scare for a moment. Receiver was able to bounce off a tackle or 2. Offense is in the huddle, but I have a feeling that magically the kicking unit will appear. No. Dallas is going to go for it. They're going to go for it on 4th and 1. It's a run. It's a 1st down, and Zeke is stopped at the goal line. Did Jim Schwartz call cover 3 on 4th and 1? Did I see 4 down linemen? 1st and goal. Dallas used their 2nd timeout. They have 1 remaining. At the 1-inch line. Prescott in shotgun. Another handoff, touchdown. Zeke punches it in. And the Cowboys have scored on all 3 possessions today. There's about 20 seconds remaining. 21 to be exact. Cleveland does get the ball to start the second half. Can they get into field goal range with 2 timeouts? Try and make it a 7-point game. Extra point is up, and it is good. So, 17-7 Dallas. I can't believe I'm about to lose my voice for a Madden game. But that's happening right now. This game does also bring out my biggest fear for the 2024 Browns, which is it's so difficult for defenses to be elite consistently year to year compared to offenses. And I hope the Browns defense can bring it another year in a row. Kickoff by Dallas. Return. Why would you return it, Nyheim Hines? He gets out to the 24. So you burned 4 seconds to not even get out to the same yard that you would have gotten if you just called a fair catch. All right. Watson in the offense. They have 2 timeouts, 17 seconds. Try and find something over the middle. See if maybe you can break a tackle, pick up 15 yards, take a shot, get into field goal range, get into Hail Mary range, but try and at least compete for a field goal. At their own 24, Watson changing the play, takes the snap, and they run it with Chubb. Chubb block. Nice run by Nick Chubb here. Okay. Nick Chubb picking up 15 yards. Timeout Cleveland with 12 seconds to go. I'll take that. Gets him out towards the 50-ish. You got 12 seconds. You got 1 timeout. You could take a shot at the middle of the field, call a timeout, and maybe get 1 to the sideline for a field goal. Watson in shotgun. Takes the snap. Watson looking, throwing. That is caught and a timeout made. Cooper hung on to a huge hit, though. Gain of 10. No timeouts left for Cleveland. 8 seconds to go. Man, take 1 shot at the sideline. See if you can pick up another 10 yards and send Hopkins out there for a long field goal. You're at your own 48. Can you get to the Cowboys 40? I don't know. Snap to Dak. Prescott looking. Oh, I beg your pardon. Dak Watson. And then Watson throws it out of bounds. 4 seconds remaining. Now you got time for 1 play here. So it's got to be a Hail Mary. And knowing Madden, they're likely not going to call a Hail Mary. Oh, kind of lined up for a Hail Mary right now. Watson in shotgun. Takes the snap. Watson looking. Watson throwing. And this is going to be caught for meaningless yards as the half expires. Oh, not even caught, actually. So the first half is over from Cleveland Browns Stadium. It's Dallas 17, Cleveland 7. Had a really good first half. Offense was asleep for their first series. Defense has been asleep for basically all 3 drives. Made some nice stops on 3rd and 4th down. 3rd down, the second series, and the 3rd series, but gave up 17 points at home in the first half. They gave up 3 all 4 quarters last year. All right, grade the Browns' first half, though. A, B, C, D, or F. And by the way, while you're getting your grades in, we're trying to get ourselves to 34,600 subscribers at the end of today's watch party. We're 17 subs away. So for those of you watching that are not subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. This is a live sub counter, so every subscriber we get will automatically reflect in real time. So that 3 will change to a 4. And that's a very aesthetically pleasing thing to watch happen. So let's see it get all the way to 34,600. I want to get to 35,000 before week 1 of the preseason. It happened. I told you guys. I didn't make it up. Now we're to 5. Let's go. All right. Second half about to get underway. It will be Browns football to open up the second half. Oh, we lost. Okay, that wasn't nice. Whoever did that, Command Z. Get back to 85. Defense needs a takeaway. Kathy's here saying we need a sack. We're past the sack point. Nyheim Hines takes the kickoff to start the second half, out to the 20. I mean, obviously this is not the new kickoff rule, but this just goes to show, unfortunately, the NFL killed the NFL kickoff with all the different rule changes they made. It never made sense to me to return a kick. You didn't get back to your own 25-yard line majority of the time. Watson and company break the huddle at their own 20 in the gun. Snap to number 4. Deshaun looking, rolling to his right, and he is sacked. He is taken down for a sack. That looks like DeMarcus Tank Lawrence. And we have our first sack of the game. Browns defense, like, how'd they do that? You could do it too. 2nd and 15. Deshaun in the gun. Watson takes the snap. It's a run to Nick Chubb, and Nick Chubb's got some green grass. And Nick Chubb, in his first game back from a severe knee injury, has had a strong day so far. I'm going to ballpark his stats at about 5 carries for 45 yards or so. Nice run by Nick Chubb. Brings up 3rd and manageable. 3rd and 7. Watson in shotgun. On 3rd down, takes the snap. Looking to pass. It's a screen. It's caught. Nick Chubb. What a block up in front. Get there, Chubb. Oh, I don't think he got there. Looked like Jack Conklin was flipping pancakes, working part-time at IHOP. But I don't think that Chubb was able to get to the line to gain. 4th and 1. I see the offense on the disappeared. Never mind. Bojorquez will punt it away. We get our first punt of our second punt by the Browns. Return starts at the 25, and it's not going to go much further than that. So good coverage by Bubba Ventrone's unit, and Prescott and company march onto the field with a 10-point lead. Come on, boys and girls. 1st and 10 for Dallas. Defense needs to make a play. No other way to put it. Defense needs to make a play. I'm not even in the business of the defense doing an okay job. No gain on 1st down. Zeke unable to pick up any positive yardage. He minds over there on the bench thinking, I got to stop taking these kicks out of the end zone. 2nd and 10. Prescott under center at his own 26-yard line. Dak throwing over the middle. That is caught, and gain of 8. Jordan Hicks in his Browns debut, putting together a pretty strong game so far, making some nice tackles at least. 3rd down.
Get the 3s in the chat.
Ban those 3s. Here we go. Prescott under center. 3rd down from his own 35. Takes the snap. Play fake. Dak throwing. Dak finding a man, and I think that's Ferguson. No, Shoemaker out of Michigan. He gets 3 yards and gets a 1st down. Cowboys have yet to punt today. I don't know if Dallas has actually had a single negative play. Browns defense, no shows. Prescott takes the snap. Dak throwing over the middle. That is caught, gain of 11. Just a really nice throw and catch that time. Jameis Winston I got to go in. 1st and 10. Brown Stadium got crab legs. Out towards midfield. In pistol formation. Dak takes the snap. It's a handoff to Zeke, who runs up the middle for a solid gain of 6 or 7 yards. Looked like JOK finally brought him down. Cowboys score here. I'll say it's game. Going to the 4th quarter. Down by that much. 2nd and 2. Snap to Prescott. Dak throwing and finding a man for a big game.
See, those are the plays you got to force a turnover. Those big ones right there.
I mean, a stop would have been nice as well. Just Like you said, force the punt. Get the ball back.
3rd and 2.
Wait, he didn't catch it?
He dropped it.
He dropped it. He dropped it.
There we go.
Let's
Come
go.
on. Let's go. Get it
Don't
stopped.
really know what happened, but
Get
all
it
right.
stopped.
3rd and 2. Prescott throwing.
Oh.
He did not drop this one. That's a gain of about 10 and a first down. Jake Ferguson moving the sticks yet again. I don't really know what happened the last time, but hey, big play by Denzel Ward to knock that ball loose. First down, Dallas. Jameis Winston once again. I got it. Give me a defense. Prescott under center. Ooh, audible. Moving some pieces around. Drops back. Looking to pass. Dumping it off, and gain of 4 that time. Jeremiah Usu-Koromoa lurking in the area. 2nd down and 6. I mean, force a field goal here. You're down 13 points. You're still, at least with a heartbeat, going into the 4th quarter. Give him a touchdown, you're done. Down 17 points, no way. Prescott throws, and that's intercepted! It's picked off! Let's go! Takeaway! Greg Newsome!
Let's go.
Yes!
Come on, Browns. Let's
Makes
go.
the play on the football. Greg Newsome with the first takeaway of the year. Could not have come at a better time. Oh, he just jumps this route. Look at that. He runs the route better than the wide receiver does. And the Browns offense back on the field and the fan base in this game. Dak and company halfway through the 3rd quarter, or maybe like 20 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Down 10 with the football, and you march down here, put up a score, get a stop, get the ball back. That's the formula, baby. That's the recipe. Dak in shotgun. I keep saying that. Watson in shotgun. Watson throwing to his left. That is caught. Amari Cooper first down. Let's go. Got my Amari Cooper jersey on for him right now. Gain of a little over 10, too, about 15 or so yards. Come on, get a playoff before the end of the quarter. Let's go. Hurry up to the line of scrimmage. 3, 2, 1, now. End of the 3rd quarter. It's Dallas 17, Cleveland 7. No score in the 3rd. Browns punted. Cowboys turned it over. And Cleveland trying to carve into this lead. Game frozen?
No, I paused it.
Okay. Oh, before we start the 4th quarter, who you got, though? Browns, Cowboys. Let me know. Who you got? Let's go. CLE. Spam it. Need the good vibes right now for the 4th quarter. Don't you want to start the season off with a great comeback and send all the national media into a tailspin because they don't know how to handle the Browns being good? Spam CLE. Let's go. By the way, closing in, 34,584 subscribers, 16 away from reaching our next little baby milestone, just the next little notch before we get to 35K. Hit the sub button down below if you have not already. All right, let's do it. Let's start the 4th quarter. Watson in shotgun. Takes the snap. Drops back. Throwing to the right. That is caught. Jerry Jeudy, yes! Jeudy, there's a flag. Flag on the play. What is it? Pass interference? Defense? I don't really know which way. Yeah, it's on the defense. Trevon Diggs, penalty declined. 1st and 10, Brownies. Let's go. Diggs in his first game back from a torn ACL. Catches himself with being a little bit too handsy. Deshaun Watson out to the Cowboys' 35-yard line. Nice pickup from Jeudy. Watson looking. Watson throwing to his left. That is caught. Nice gain. Is that Jeudy again? No, Elijah Moore touches the ball for the first time today. Picks up about 9 or so yards. 2nd and inches. J-OK? Going, I got to take a seat. Give me a breather. 2nd and inches. Watson back in the gun. Give it to Chubb. Don't mess around here. Just give it to Chubb. They do that exactly. Chubb, first down and more. Cuts upfield. Chubb inside the 10. Dragged down to the 7-yard line. Nicholas Jamal Chubb is back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Look at that cut. Look at that cut. Runs over a man. Get out of my way. Good blocking. Good blocking by Judy. Watch that stiff arm. Look, get away from me. Move it, Wilson. Stefanski likes it. He's fired up right now. First and goal, Brownies. Deshaun in shotgun. Empty set. Don't turn it. Takes the snap. Rolls to his left. Throws. End zone. Touchdown! David Njoku! The Browns back in business. Boom! Let's go! Extra point away from making it a 3-point game. Do you go for 2? Nah. 2 touchdown passes from Watson in his first game back, both to tight ends. D-Hop, the better D-Hop, I like to say, on the field for the extra point, which is good. And with a little over 4 minutes to go, the Browns down by 3. The defense with a takeaway the last time on the field. Do you guys smell that? Taste it. That's a Myles Garrett sack incoming. Been quiet so far today, but what a time for a Myles Garrett sack attack. Let's go. Who you got? Browns or Cowboys? You got 3-point game in the fourth quarter. Return out across the 10 to the 20, across the 25, all the way to the 30. Bubba Ventrone's unit just deciding not to show up today on kickoff return coverage. Prescott's fired up after that last interception. Well, give me a high five. Let's go. Barking out the commands. Up by 3. Dallas has yet to punt today. I like a punt. I'd actually like a punt more than a takeaway here. As crazy as that sounds, then it feels like the Cowboys offense just can't do anything. Takeaway, they're like, all right, that's just a bad throw. Cowboys hand it off to Zeke on the first. Oh, God bless it, Juan Thornhill. Oh, my. Gain of 15 or more. Juan Thornhill just had his ankle snapped by washed Zeke. I would like to pick now. That's a great point that Jeremy raises. Just happy for Mike McCarthy. Looks like he did a nice keto diet. Dropped about 50 pounds in this game. All that went over to Kevin Stefanski, though. First and 10, snap to Prescott. It's another run. Man, it's almost as if the Cowboys are going to run the football with the lead in the fourth quarter. Jim. 2nd and 4. Jerome Ford on the sideline thinking, give me a shot. No, Jerome. Here we go. Prescott across the 50 now. That last gain by Zeke. Takes the snap. It's another run and another big gain for Elliott. I mean, just hold him to a field goal. I love as a fan when you just completely spin zone from let's get a stop to, I never even wanted to stop. Just hold him to a field goal. That's fine with me. Still a one-possession game. First and 10. Under 3 minutes to play. I'm going to make a prediction. It's a run. If I see one guy step back in coverage, we're going to end the Madden stream. Oh, they're all going back. Look at him. Crowd the line of scrimmage, Schwartz. Dak's fired up. Going, go, Zeke, go. 2nd and 1. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. Now, do the Cowboys, do they have to snap the ball before the 2-minute warning? I think no. And they do. Foolishly. And it's a big run. Oh, my God. He just came out of the womb of Ohio State. I mean, is it 2024 or 2016? 2-minute warning. First and goal, Dallas. They scored a touchdown here. That's game. Dak in the gun. It's another run. QB keeper, he's gonna run it in. Oh! They get him down to the 2-yard line. Okay. All right. Juan Thornhill able to get there just in time to save the game. 2nd and goal now. I need 2 stops here. 2 stops, force a field goal, get the ball back. Browns have used their first of 3 timeouts. They are committed to making a stop here. Dak under center, takes the snap. It's a run. No! Berlin Wall comes up strong. That's the rookie Watson making a play. 3rd and goal. Spam those 3s.
It's 3rd down.
I've got a bad feeling about what's to happen here. I got a bad feeling. 3rd and goal. Prescott throwing. Incomplete. My feeling was bad. It was bad feeling. Looked like Hicks might have broken up the pass. 4th and goal. And the Cowboys are going to go for it. Oh, man. They're going to go for it on 4th and goal. Prescott takes the snap. It's a run. Touchdown. You did the hard part. You got to 4th and goal. And Zeke just runs right into the end zone untouched. 23-14 Dallas. Blocked it. Been 23-16. 1 touchdown. Motherfucker. I mean, a touchdown, an onside kick, and another touchdown or a field goal.
If you think these Madden streams are intense, you better subscribe.
I feel like Madden onside kick is more likely than real life onside kick. Yes. Because real life onside kick, it's practically 0. I would say real life probably 5%. Yeah. Browns need a quick score, though. Oh, my gosh. Nyheim Hines. Cut him. Cut his ass. He has taken every kick out of the end zone, has yet to reach the 25, and just runs off clock. First. Deshaun Watson and the offense with a long plan. Jerry Jeudy has made a couple of grabs in his Browns debut. Snap to Watson. Deshaun throwing to his right. That is incomplete. Looked like he had a man running over the middle that was open. Trying to attack the sidelines. I understand time is an element here, but that wasn't it. 2nd and 10. Deshaun back in the shotgun formation. Snap to Watson. Throwing to his left. That's caught. Okay. Gain of 11. Nick Chubb running out from the back of the field and on a wheel route. 1st and 10. Go. Browns have not used their final timeout yet. Watson in the gun at his own 35. Takes the snap. Looking. Throwing. That is caught. Gain of about 15 or so yards. Jerry Jeudy comes up with, I think, his 3rd or 4th grab of the day. Browns still not using that timeout. Under a minute to go. I don't know when they plan to. At the Dallas 45. Cowboys okay with letting all this clock run off. Snap to Watson. Watson throwing deep! Good! Touchdown! Touchdown, Amari Cooper! Amari Cooper with a 55-yarder. The Browns have a pulse. Let's go!
Here we
Go Brownies. Here we go. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. 24-20. The extra point is good. Now it's onside kick time. One timeout. You just can't get the ball back if you do not recover this. Oh, boy. Here we go. Dak warming up as if he's going to get the ball back. Stefanski, he is just stress eating this game. He's put on 5 pounds from the start. Browns got the hands team on there. So why wouldn't you have 2 backup linebackers be a part of it?
Turpin's acting like he's about to get this return.
Turpin is deep in his own end zone. Well, they're doing the onside kick, right? Okay, good. Onside kick is covered. Looks like Jalen Tolbert came up with it. Stefanski's like, we kicked it to the short side of the onside kick formation. Got UDFA Muhammad Diabate trying to run down this ball. Well, we got to have a long conversation with Bubba Ventrone. 1st and 10 for Dallas. They'll take a knee or 2 or 3, and that will be the ball game. And the Cowboys will improve to 1-0. The Browns will fall to 0-1. The Browns had an opportunity to start off 1-0 for a 3rd straight season. For the first time since, anyone? The Berlin Wall fell. That's to accomplish this year. For 3 straight years since the Berlin Wall was still intact. Yeah. They won their first game week 1. I got someone else in the studio I'm talking to right now, everyone. When they beat the Panthers, Baker Mayfield, for the first time since the franchise's return in 99. So they had only known starting off 0-1. It's going to be a 24-21 final score. Browns have no timeouts. Cannot stop the clock. Cooper fantasy owners, that's got to be electric. Huge play at the end there. But this fan base and this team will have to wait another week for their first win of the year. That's the final. 24-21, Cowboys over the Browns. Cleveland will get ready for a road trip to Jacksonville next week. Listen, if you guys enjoyed this, I want to do this throughout the entire summer. I know it's a bit of a guinea pig station or a process right now, a trial. But if you liked it, give me a yes, give me a no. I do want to be honest. If you didn't like it, then I don't want to waste everyone's time. I really enjoyed doing it, though. I hope you guys did as well. I feel like it's a good kind of, I wouldn't say filler, but just a bridge from the end of like the fun draft chaos and whatnot to training camp. So if you enjoyed it, I'll keep doing them. I'll do them throughout the entire summer. And then once training camp gets here, we can actually watch the actual Browns preseason games. So Chris likes it. Cool Guy likes it. Kathy likes it. They are 6-minute quarters. Cool Guy says, do more. Okay. The people have spoken. Majority hasn't. Democracy lives on. That's right. All right. With that being said, predict the Browns record for me to wrap up the show here. What are you thinking? They are. Yeah. We do. You want to do a card? All right. We'll end the live. We usually end like the videos with the card. We'll end the live with the card too. Kathy says 10-7. My prediction, I think I did was 12-5. Maybe it's 11. 11 games last year with 5 starting quarterbacks. Call me crazy. I think they could win if Watson stays healthy. Levi likes it. All right. Pick a card time. Let's bring on Trace and executive Madden producer Jeremy Beadling. He is the origin of this idea.
Try explaining that to my in-laws on how I make money. I'm the executive Madden producer. So if that tells you anything.
Madden. It's kind of like in Step Brothers. You manage a baseball team. Little League?
Nah,
Fantasy
fantasy.
Yeah.
Madden?
Don't worry, your daughter's in good hands.
In the office when Ryan meets Kelly's parents, and they're like, are you saving up to buy a home? No, an Xbox. Okay. Are we ready to pick a card?
8 of diamonds.
7 of clubs.
I'll go 6 of spades, kind of that 8, 7, 6 countdown. We ready?
I'm going to be so mad if you get this.
All right, here we go. No one got it. Anyone in the chat get it? Someone got really close. 4 of hearts.
Boom!
That's what I was going to go with.
Levi said 4 of diamonds. Chris said 5 of hearts. All right, that will do it for us on our live show today. I had a blast. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you did, I know this sounds a little like cornball-y, but do send it to other Browns fans and be like, hey, you should watch this Madden stream with this Browns YouTuber. I think you'll enjoy it for the months of May, June, and into July. So I'd really appreciate to see this kind of take off a little bit as the actual Madden season progresses. But thank you all so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and go Brownies.